Here's the thing nobody tells you. A conversation isn't just about what you say. It's also what you do while you're not saying anything. And that's the part you've been losing. So, guy at work, native speaker, fluent, obviously, friendly, charming, the kind of person people want to hang out with at the parties. But I started noticing something. In meetings, in chats by the coffee machine, I'd watch people explain things to him. And he'd react like he was tracking every word, nodding at the right moments. Right, fair enough, makes sense. Yeah, no, totally. Exactly. All this kind of stuff. People walk away from him feeling heard, feeling smart, feeling like he got it. But once I mentioned something wrong by accident, literally wanted to say something else. And he confidently confirmed it with his signature, exactly. So after that, I had a thought. Does he actually get it? So I tested him. I started saying things that were just wrong. Things that didn't make sense if you were listening. Or sometimes incorrect facts. He kept reacting. Clean. On time. Right. Yeah. Course. No way. He had no idea what I was on about. None. He probably just doesn't care what people say to him. But everyone watching him thinks he's the most engaged guy in the conversation. That's how powerful these tiny wells are. Enough to fake listening itself. Now let's flip it. You're at a dinner. Maybe you understand everything. The jokes, the references, the subtext, the bit where someone changed the subject because something felt awkward. You caught it all. You laugh at the right moments. You nod when you agree. Inside your head, you're having reactions to every line. And somehow, by the end of the night, you're the quiet one. Again, here's why. Listening on its own feels like distance. From the outside, a person who is tracking everything in silence and the person who's checked out look exactly the same. The room can't tell the difference, so the room moves on without you. This is the bit nobody warns you about. You think your problem is speaking. Your actual problem is that your listening is invisible. And in English, invisible listening reads as absence. The colleague at work, his listening is always visible, even if it's not there. And if yours isn't, then that's the whole gap. I'll tell you when I learned it the hard way. Years ago, I started spending time with native English speakers properly. Not in classrooms or over Zoom or whatever. In pubs, at dinners, sitting on someone's sofa at 2 a.m. There was a girl called Victoria. British, sharp, funny in that dry way that doesn't announce itself. And I remember sitting in a group with her, listening to a conversation I followed every word of, having reactions to every line in my head, and saying almost nothing out loud. I wanted to be on her level, not exactly in a show-off way, just peer-to-peer, equals. Inside, I already was. I got the jokes, I had things to add, but every time I tried to react out loud, it came out wrong. Mistimed, bad timing, awkward shape, the kind of yeah that lands flat. And here's what happened to me. The longer I sat in that gap, being a peer and equal inside, but looking like a junior outside, the more I started believing I was the junior one. The inferiority crept in. And not because of my English level. My English was fine, because I had no way to react like a peer in real time. And without that, I became the unequal one in my own head. That's the thing about the missing reactor layer. It doesn't just hide you from the room. It eventually hides you from yourself. Right, so how do you fix it? There are 4 flavors of reactors. You do need all 4. Not because each one is hard. They're not hard. Because the trap is using just one. The agree reactors. Exactly, fair enough, makes sense, spot on, right. Right's my favorite. You go like, right, lad. So, these say, I'm with you. They are the workhorse reactors. The mistake, and watch this in yourself, is stacking them. Like, yeah, exactly, totally makes sense for sure. You know what I mean? 5 agree reactors in a row doesn't read like someone who's listening. Another one is surprise. No way. Get out. Bloody hell. Are you serious? Really? You know, the one that goes, really? And shut up. Yes, even shut up. Now you know. Proceed with caution. These say, what you just said landed. They give your reaction shape. The mistake is using one too big, for a moment that is too small. Save your bloody hell for an actual bloody hell moment. Use a smaller one, like really? Oh wow, for the rest. The empathy ones. I hear you. Tell me about it. Same here. That's rough. Sorry about that, mate. These say, I'm not just hearing you, I'm in it with you. Most powerful when the other person has just said something hard. The mistake though is rushing them. I hear you the moment they finish every sentence. Sounds like, please stop talking. Let it breathe. Feel the moment. The fourth kind is identity. Like in it. Alright lad. These are actually the ones tied to where you're from. Maybe who you're with. Like the flavor of English in the room. After all, we do learn from our native English-speaking friends. These ones say, I belong here. The mistake is borrowing them without owning them. If in it doesn't sit naturally in your mouth, don't force it. Find your own. In time, you'll be alright. And here's the spine of all four. Mixing flavors is what feels like a real person is listening. Stacking one flavor feels like an AI bot. A real listener moves between agree, surprise, empathy, and the small identity markers. They don't just pick one and run it into the ground. So here's what I want you to do this week. Download the master file I made with a bunch of brilliant reactors. In that file there will be other kinds of lexical chunks too. The link is in the description and pinned comment. Of course, it's free. Download. Pick 3 reactors. Maybe one from each flavor. Like one from agree, one from surprise, one from empathy. The ones you like, the ones you feel and would actually say. Use them at every natural pause, while the other person is speaking. Not when it's your turn, while they're still talking. During pauses. Stop saving your best speaking stuff for the moment that might never come. The listening is your turn, so start using it. Reactors don't show understanding, they show presence. They make your listening visible, and the room cannot include you in something it doesn't see you in. Reactors are one of the 4 worlds in the lexical chunks system. I've made a video that shows the full set. It's going to appear right here. I'm talking about what they do, why your speech needs them, and what's still missing if you've only got reactors, right in this video. So I'm not saying goodbye, I'm saying see you over there.